Hey everybody, it's Aaron Banyan.
Timothy Bennett here.
Jason Chandler.
Welcome to B&B Banter Bros Goes to the Movies. This week we're doing the new Suicide Squad movie that just released yesterday, right?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
HBO Max and theaters too.
I believe it was in theaters too, yeah. Pretty sure it came out in theaters too.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those.
Dope. I don't have any of the information for it. Hold on a second.
So James Gunn directed it.
Yeah, James Gunn directed it. I don't know who wrote it. Hold on. Google machine.
James Gunn wrote and directed this.
Did he write it? Okay. I wasn't sure about that part.
He's just a beast.
Yeah, this is more of a James Gunn film than it is a DC film. That's for sure.
It really showed too.
Yeah, it did. Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder are also executive producers.
Yep. Well, which makes sense given that they're, frenzies.
Yeah, they started up together, James Gunn and him, right?
Yep. Yeah, because they were the ones that did Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it sounds right. I mean, I started hearing about both of those guys around the same time. So I'm not big into directors, personally speaking. Like, I don't pay attention to the directors as much as you guys do. But
yeah, I actually don't know when I heard of James Gunn. Like, I couldn't really tell you other than Guardians of the Galaxy when he directed that. I was like, oh yeah, I know that name, but why? Why do I know that?
Right.
Yeah, Zack Snyder and his wife, I don't know what they did exactly, but being executive producers probably helped because there's a lot of camera shots that are fucking awesome, and the music choices were fucking excellent in this movie. And
this
my guess.
Yeah.
It's had a really cool soundtrack.
The music in this. Yeah, for sure.
And I guess the vinyl, there's a vinyl that came out of the soundtrack that came out today or something like that, too. I was like,
well, I better fucking get that right now.
Right.
And yes, of course I will, Aaron.
So,
just expected at this point.
Did we all enjoy the movie?
I watched it twice. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Especially, I tell people all the time, like, I haven't watched a DC movie since The Dark Knight Rises. Like, I haven't seen Batman vs. Superman, any of the Wonder Womans, any of those. And this was my first foray back into DC, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wow.
You didn't see the other Suicide Squad?
Nope.
Yeah.
Or Birds of Prey?
Nope.
They're all kind of, the Suicide Squad, that one we're talking about, is a kind of a sequel to the first one.
Like, it is and it isn't. It's like separate, but they still have the character that still transfer over.
Yeah. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I laughed a lot. I enjoyed the violence, the brutality, it got a little, I don't know. There's a few boring spots, but right when I was about to say this shit's getting a little boring, something cool fucking happened. And we can talk about that later, I guess. But.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like how they used the first movie just as the origin story. Catching up here on Zoom, I believe.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody today about it, and this is kind of, it feels like DC's answer to the Guardians of the Galaxy almost. Like it's the team movie that like Guardians of the Galaxy was. It wasn't the Avengers. It wasn't supposed to. It wasn't taken as seriously. So like it was the more comedic version. But they added in like the extra violence, which I feel like they kind of just. It was also their answer to Deadpool to some degree.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I viewed it. This was their Guardians of the Galaxy, and it really seems like it's hitting kind of the same way to what I can see.
Yeah, I can kind of get on board with that. It had that same, like you said, that same feel. It's kind of like the B Squad.
Yeah.
And then we get to see what the B Squad's all about. Now, speaking of the B Squad, in the beginning of the episode, we start off with Yeah, I'm sorry, the movie. We start off with this team, right? Like what's that? Pete Ross.
Pete Davidson was Blackguard.
There you go.
Nathan Fillion was TDK.
Yep.
Was that
TDK,
Flula Borg that was Javelin?
I don't know who that is.
I couldn't tell who that was.
I've only seen him like very rarely, so I don't know him that well, and I never saw his name in the credits, so I didn't fucking worry about it too much. But yeah, they had a few like name actors to do what ostensibly was a guest spot.
Yeah.
And then
now, what did you think about that intro to this movie? Because it was a good 30 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
But
I was confused and going, what are we doing? What's happening now? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this team is, I was like, wait, other team? What?
Right.
And I was, I thoroughly enjoyed the intro to this movie. It was
Me
great.
too.
Yeah,
Me too, a ton. Because they used the first movie as a segue into this movie just to be like, just fucking 2 minutes into the movie, they give you the whole reasoning, like, okay, you're getting 10 years off your sentence, you get a fucking head explosion if you don't follow the rules, blah, blah, blah. The Yaller lady, we already know who she is, and we had the whole first movie to understand where we're at. So they just went into this with action and plot.
Yep.
With a blast of what the fuck is happening. And when I saw Pete Davidson die, I'm fully on board. Fucking hate that guy.
That was. Quick question: was that the guy that played Captain Boomerang in the first movie as well?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
It was the same actor.
I thought
It
it
was the
was,
same
but
actor.
I wasn't sure.
I liked the fact that they killed everybody off right away. Although Nathan Fillion kind of broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah, it
Because-
sucked to watch him be so worthless.
Right.
I love that everyone. I love the interaction between Javelin and him. They're like, "What does your name mean?" Or "What? Your name's TDK. What does that mean?" "Well, it's my name." Yeah. Well, your name is. What does it represent? It represents me.
Yep.
Your name
But they're just letters. That's what all
Everybody's name
names
is
are.
letters, dickhead.
Yeah, that whole
Yeah.
plane ride conversation and all the jokes were great.
I did
Kinda-
love Pete
kinda
Davidson
dog
like
is
jumping
this?
up and like, is that a werewolf? Holy shit! They stick me next to a werewolf.
And
And
then
the
Harley
weasel.
Quinn.
That
We've
weasel
had a werewolf
character is
before.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the intro, I loved the Nathan Fillion's character had to be one of the most entertaining things for me because when it's like, oh, it's time for the detachable kid, and I was like, what?
What?
His arms are just
yeah.
slapping people. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Like the least threatening thing that could go on, and he's just Because even the soldiers are like, "What is this?" They're like being slapped
such
around
an-
and punched,
It
and
was such an action figure joke.
right.
Where,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
way
you
his
take the
arms
arms
popped off. Yeah.
Yep.
Thoroughly enjoyed by the intro to this movie as well.
So
and then
good. Weasel,
when the
Weasel was funny.
yeah,
Anybody
get
check
some
to
of
see if
him.
Weasel could swim?
Yeah, they use that again. Their lack of thorough investigation of
preparation.
preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. The lack of caring. They don't care about these people, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
they don't really care.
They're expendable.
Because it's clear that Yaller, I think, Yaller in this, she's like more ruthless and gives less fucks than she did in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very brutal in this one.
Yep.
So I mean, if your leader doesn't fucking care, then why should they? Or, you know, they're only going to do the bare minimum, or what they're told.
Yeah, I definitely
Most
noticed that too. Like she was she was a whole other level. It's almost like that whole first movie was like a complete failure in her eyes, so she had to amp her shit up.
Yeah.
Right.
Having never seen it, I do remember like the trailers and stuff for the first one. She seemed very cold, and in this one, she seemed aggressive.
Aggressively
Exactly
cold.
what Tim is.
Yep.
Exactly
Yeah.
what Tim is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. She's
It's like-
so aggressively cold. Like she's putting herself beyond that point of what she was in the first film to just no fucks at all. It's just whatever.
It's like she was made to look bad, or like her position of leadership was compromised by the first movie, and she wasn't going to allow that again.
Yeah,
maybe
kind of like her second chance. And
it's fan fiction here
or something. So
yeah, but when
we have a lot of
they killed off the Zoom issues, and when the head explosion, and then the dude Savant, that guy
Michael Rooker
that we all
Savant?
know from Walking Dead,
Michael Rooker, Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
When his head explodes, and then you get the Warner Brothers presents or whatever film, I was like, all right, we're in it now. I love
every time they segued into a new act.
The way to section off.
Yep.
There it is, segue. Yep.
This movie flows like a comic book. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
It flows the exact way a comic book would.
Yep, I agree.
Oh yeah.
I agree 100%. That's how it felt like watching this. It was like I was kind of like reading a comic book. So
yeah, and exactly, those segues were just like, and those segues just capped it off for me. Like that's the way a comic book reads. Like you just get those little blips of like, meanwhile.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, me too.
And it really helps to do that kind of stuff. I thought they did it really, really well too, because of all the jumps in time that we're dealing with. Like, there's not like a lot of distance. It's not like it's 10 years or whatever. It's just like 8 minutes.
It's a week.
A week later or earlier. Yeah. So I thought it was done pretty appropriate, and I really like those titled segues.
Most def. But like I really enjoyed like when you first meet Bloodsport, and it's literally just the soap around the toilet seat. Just says like 3 days earlier. I thought that was great.
The 3 days. Yep, perfect.
So there's a lot of characters that we'd see, but what would you say is your favorite? Because I mean, we really didn't get a lot from the first group, but
right.
Did you have a favorite character, like one that you enjoyed the most?
Surprisingly,
Oops,
sorry, Aaron, you go.
Are we talking just the first group or overall the whole movie?
Overall, the whole film.
I thoroughly enjoyed King Shark. I thought his character was just great comedic relief, and I thought Sylvester Stallone was fantastic. Sylvester Stallone basically doing Vin Diesel's Groot.
Yeah, with a little more dialogue.
Wait.
Yeah, he said different words, but yeah, I thought King Shark was probably the most entertaining character.
Yeah. I have to
surprisingly like. Yeah, King Shark stole a lot of scenes and was background comedy, but I don't know much about John Cena. But what the fuck, he did great in this movie.
Yeah, he
can act.
I don't know. I don't know if I've seen many movies that he's in because I'm not living on
Close your
Ninth Ave.
goddamn window.
I can't. It's hot in here, and you're gonna have to listen to some sirens. I live next to the fucking headquarters of all the siren places. But yeah, that John Cena. It probably helped that he played off Bloodshot. Can't remember the other dude's name.
Idris Elba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I had no. He's an easy choice to choose as a favorite, but John Cena like blew me away. Like
he really stole a lot of scenes for me too. Him and Idris Elba, like their little competition,
when they go in that camp.
Yeah.
First of all,
nobody likes to show off, except when what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Shit.
Is
right.
Yeah.
That whole little camp
he
thing
turns
was
around
great.
And he's like, that's true. Isn't it? Like they just go in there thinking they're fucking saving them, and then they finally get to him.
That camp scene is hysterical.
Are you drinking tea? He's like, yeah, they saved me. And then she's like, why didn't my people not let me know you were here? He's like, we didn't see anyone. What are you talking about?
We didn't see any people.
Right.
Yeah,
oh my
sure.
God, they killed a whole bunch of fucking freedom fight. They killed a bunch of freedom fighters.
Yeah, the resistance.
Oh,
yeah. What the
I was
fuck?
super excited about them bringing King Shark in, and I thought that it was done really well.
Yeah.
Because in the first movie, that was the first thing I thought. I'm like, why isn't King Shark in here? He's a part of the Suicide Squad. And so when they brought him in on this one, I was happy. This was, and I also think that Idris Elba was
I was a little worried about the CGI and stuff, but it turned out well
for King Shark.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought it did well. I thought they did really well.
It looked great. Yeah.
I will say though,
Sorry,
I think that Idris Elba was a better lead actor, or like just overall lead character / actor than Will Smith playing Deadshot.
Yeah, I never really could have taken him. Yeah, he was Deadshot. I don't think I could have ever taken Will Smith that seriously as that kind of a badass. Like, he can do action, but I don't think he can pull that kind of character off.
Yeah, I think that the issue I had with the first one, not to really do a comparison, was I think me and Jason talked about this before, is it seemed more like a Will Smith film and less of a, a comedic group of people.
Right.
And so I think that, I don't know, I like this one better as a lead actor.
This one is a lot better than the first, and he did much better than Will Smith. I think that's what you guys were saying. My internet cut out, and I agree with what Tim was saying.
I thought for Idris Elba is probably one of my favorite scenes was when he has to talk to his daughter, and he basically tells her next time, don't get caught, take a look out. And they're just yelling at each other. And they're like, fuck you, fuck you.
He gives her a solution. She fights back. And then they just end up saying, fuck you for the next 30 seconds. Louder and louder to each other. It's like, this is the best dad and daughter argument in a prison setting ever. And she looked like Exhibit's daughter.
I thought it was great. Like, I get caught stealing and your solution is for me to bring a lookout? He's like, yeah. And she's like, you're the worst father.
But he did have a point. It's like, if you're going to get caught stealing something, make it worth it than a fucking watch that you can watch TV on. It's like, why the fuck do you want to watch TV on a watch? I don't know.
What are you expecting on the other side of that glass when you fucking
when he talks shit up, when he shit talks the watch, and she's like, it does other stuff.
Right.
And then, it builds up and builds up.
The whole thing was hysterical.
Yeah, and then how they brought it down after I'm embarrassed that you're my father, and they just kind of ended that climax with that. I don't know. The dialogue was fucking excellent in this movie. Jokes and conversations.
It was super good.
Yep. And that's one of those moments that proves it.
So, how did you feel about the storyline? Did you think that it was... Because it's... For the most part, it's not like an original storyline by any means, but how do you feel that this played out compared to like some of the other movies that have a similar aspect?
I mean, it's a pretty basic premise. I like the introduction of Starro. I don't know too much about that particular monster, but
yeah, I know nothing about it.
I know I thought it was a good vehicle. It was at least entertaining at the end.
Yeah.
When they had to fight him and stuff like that.
Yeah. Even that had a little bit of a comedic point to it too. Like.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't upset with the whole premise. Like, I thought it was decent enough.
Yeah.
It was enough for me to keep engaged. I'll put it that way.
Right.
Yeah. I thought it was real simple, cut and dry, black and white. But they added that intro where they killed off everybody in front of the American flag to make it interesting. And they just did so many interesting moments to keep you engaged with the freedom, the resistant camps. Harley Quinn's moment of, escape and her getting married for a second and stuff like that. Because it was just a simple get in, get out. No twists and turns really besides like, oh, you found Colonel Flag. That was an added objective. That was about it. Unlike the other movie, unlike the first movie, they twist and turned it on you to try to give you some kind of like, thriller type of suspense type of, jaw-dropping result, and
They tried to keep you predicting, and it kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
In
this one was predictable and fun the whole ride.
Yeah.
I think. I'm sorry, Tim.
I think that, basically the storyline. I accepted the storyline for as like you said, cut and dry as it was. It was just fine. But what really made this different compared to other, movies and stuff that have basically a cut and dry and comes off a little dull or boring or just doesn't, I don't know, it's been done kind of thing and throw your hands up, is the character interaction and the in-depthness that you get for these characters. You get just enough of an interest in each of these characters. Even Miguel, or I think was his name. Maybe it wasn't Miguel. The
polka dot guy?
No, the guy who was Milton. Yeah, Milton. Even Milton.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
He's like a guy who's just been following him around, and he was like, "Who the fuck is Milton?"
It's because of that conversation after he passes away. They have that fucking 3-minute conversation about him, and then and it's all funny, and they're all just having that dynamic, and then all of a sudden, it's so tight that you gave a fuck about Milton after you realized, oh shit, has he been there the whole time?
Right.
Like,
because Polka Dot Man's the only one that cared. He's like, Milton just died. He's like, Milton, he was still with us.
It's like, yes, is Milton.
And what
I loved when Harley Quinn at the end. I loved when Harley's like,
that 3
I'll
hour.
be your friend Milton, not my name. We just had a 3-hour conversation about that being your name.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Oh, it was so good. So many callbacks and their jokes and stuff. But that's the genius of this guy's writing is that a lot of characters, not much time with them, but he wrote them so well and concise that you did fucking care. And you had some kind of attachment. And when they, I don't know, when they passed away, you were like, fuck. Even like Polka Dot Guy and his mom jokes and his sharp one-liners and he's a good actor. I've seen him in many things.
Yeah.
Dude.
I loved it.
Man, that's kind of what I meant too.
Did you
that's
notice
what I meant
in the
by
bars? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Did you notice since we're laughing about Polka Dot Guy in the bar scene when he's on the dance floor? He's dancing. He's surrounded by his mom. Everybody he's dancing with is his mom. I didn't notice that till the second time I watched it.
It's then when he finally reveals like how his powers work, and they're like, "Where's your mom?" No, he's like, "Everywhere." And he looks and like everybody is his mother.
No, it was before that at the Freedom Camp when they're all trying to like make justification of why they killed.
Like, that's your.
That's what he's saying. Yep, he's saying it was when they were in encampment and he had just like had to release himself or whatever.
Yeah,
and
like when they're walking and he trips and like,
When he explains that it's an interdimensional virus and then it kind of goes into his mom. Yeah, I thought that was great. He just sees his mom everywhere.
Where's your mom now? Everywhere.
Where's your mom now? Everywhere. I thought that was great. Because he does it in such a such a disappointing realization. It's like everywhere. Like you just can't escape her.
Polka Dot Man was so interesting to me because he's not even really revealed to be that threatening until like halfway through the movie.
Right.
And like
when you actually see the damage.
Yeah, and what a Peacemaker says something and like then Ratcatcher looks at Polka Dot Man, it's like, I thought you were the crazy one. He's like, I am. And like he says shit like that, or like when it's finally revealed, like after they kill the fucking camp, like, oh, we didn't see it. He's like, I visualized them all as my mom and I killed them.
Or even in the auditorium, there's like, oh God, I hope we die.
Yeah, we're all gonna die. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. I thought that, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about with this movie is you didn't have to give 2 fucks about the story. It was not about the story. It was all character development. And it was all about watching these characters interact with each other. You could have basically have written an entire movie about them going to the store, picking up peanut butter, and having a little picnic. And it would have been the most entertaining thing with these characters.
For sure.
True.
This is
not
what
to take away from
like
the story. It's just...
It's like a comic book. Like, it's all about the characters. It's not really about what they're doing.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah, because the heart of the movie is Ratcatcher 2 and Deadshot.
And Bloodsport.
Yeah, Bloodsport. Thank you.
And King Shark.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because he now has friends. He never had friends. He was going to eat
yeah.
Ratcatcher too.
You're right. You're right.
How
Until
heavy a
she's
sleeper
like-
are you?
Right.
And she does that whole making friends speech, and he's just like, "You little idiot!" Like nobody had faith in it.
I will say though, the entire time I was watching, and she's always trying to sleep, or she's like, "Oh, I thought it'd be a perfect mate for you, Jason. Just a perfect girlfriend."
Right.
Fuck.
Because she's always trying to sleep, and that's what you do. You just sleep all day.
Calling me a millennial.
Calling you a sloth.
Yeah.
Well, she was pretty besides the rats and stuff. So I'm down.
Sebastian.
She,
Is that rat waving at me? Yeah. Why?
why? It's friendly.
It's friendly. Yeah.
Jesus.
So, how did you feel about Rick Flag's? I don't know.
Demise.
Yeah, his death. Like, because I
I
didn't
was-
really see that coming, but it
I didn't either. and I
surprise
was
me
very
at the same
upset by
time.
it.
I
I didn't like it.
First of
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I was like, well, fuck. I like that guy.
this
Bo-
movie you cared about Flag much more than the first movie.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
And during that fight, when he what happens, I was like, no, don't do it. I wanted Cena to lose, and that didn't happen.
I will admit, though, I was very. I liked the dialogue between like Peacemaker, basically going, it's like, I'll do anything for peace, even killing a hero like you.
Yeah,
like, he had
yeah.
such
He set that
he had
up.
such
For liberty.
Yeah. He had such respect for this guy, and you could just see that he didn't want to do it, but because he has
Yeah.
a
They-
higher
they-
code.
That's another reason why this fight had a lot of emotion to it and like stakes to it, because you knew
Yep.
their friendship and there has been a history to it. And that whole helmet thing where you watch him fight for a little bit and the reflection of his helmet, the beacon of hope
Yep.
or the toilet seat.
Yep.
Fucking, that was a clever shot, because we've seen fights like this a million times, so we know what to expect. But to like have to pay attention to it closer through this like small little reflection of silver was
Yeah.
a nice touch.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I will admit, I really did enjoy Peacemaker in
Me
this
too. I did
show
too.
too. I thought that John
Like when
Cena was
Baby
pretty
Shark
fucking
makes
hilarious.
the C4 mold of him. He's like, that's really nice of you, but it doesn't look like me. That shit was nice.
Just put it on the wall.
Looks nothing like me.
Or when he's like, "Why are you in your underwear, whitey tighties?" That's racist. No, it's not.
And then the sound pans off to the control room. I was like, it's perfect time to end that.
Right.
Oh, that was just so well done.
The comedic paces, the comedic beats on this were brilliant, and
Yeah.
it definitely reminded me a lot of like Army of the Dead. Like it had this very
Yeah.
similar kind of
Oh, nice, yeah.
comedic style, which makes sense
Sure.
given James Gunn and Zack Snyder are friends and they work together on this film. But I loved the comedic beats on this, and they were doing it in the most like serious times too. Like
Yeah.
they're making a joke out of the destroying the camp. It's just that was
Right.
great. This horrific thing just happened, but it's like no big deal.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just thought of like King Shark during the debriefing. And like he raises his hand. He's like, hand.
And yeah.
Or like during the walkie-talkie scene, he goes, bird.
No,
Get off
the
the
comps.
Or he's like reading the book.
That's all-
Is he reading a book? It's upside down.
My favorite part of that whole bit where he like raises his hand and he points to it. He's like, and she confirms it is, and he puts his arm back down and he just like nods, like, yeah, I did something.
Oh, yeah.
did
Yeah. He's like, yep. I did my part. Yeah, because
I
John
did good.
Cena had that starfish butthole joke. It was just like,
Right? Do you think
I
this
was
is
just gonna
related?
say, think that's related? No.
No. It's just taking notes.
he writes it down in his notebook.
I know. Fucking nerd.
The whole bag of
Oh,
dicks
my
thing on
God.
the beach too is fucking. Yeah, I would do.
Oh.
This beach was lined with dicks. I'd eat a whole bag of dicks. If it was
Why
for
would someone
liberty,
leave penises all over the beach? Who knows what madmen do?
right? Yeah, it was
Hell yeah.
great.
The beats were perfect.
So
I was
one of was there anything that kind of like surprised you, like shocked you in this? Like you just didn't see it coming, or like it was
I
just
got
kind of
one.
Yeah. What was it? What is it, Jason?
The Harley Quinn moment when she got captured, she was like trying to get engaged to by this pretty president. And how they did the presidency was pretty cool in this fucking film as well. But right when it was started to get boring and he was giving his speech and he turns around and then bam, I jumped. I was like not expecting it because right in my head I was like, fuck, this is getting lame. And then it just threw me back. And then it becomes a moment where you realize Harley Quinn is crazy and you're like, that's right, she is psycho.
She is
because she does her whole speech. I won't recite it, but you know what I'm talking about. And she nails it. And then I'll just say her whole escape is predictable because she's Margot Robbie and she can't be killed off because she's a perfect cast. So corporately, there's no stakes there for that character to be killed off. So you know she's going to get out of there alive. Yeah. But how they did that was fucking fun. Great music, choreographed, and pretty as fuck with the whole hallucination thing towards the end.
Like with the whole flowers when she's like going,
and how she saw
crazy.
The javelin like a video game, like it was a target.
Yeah, right.
But it all started with that gunshot that just brought me out of this boring shit, and that's what got me.
Yep, for sure. I wasn't. Yeah, I think the her shooting the president was probably the one thing that like I was like, oh shit, okay. I was pleasantly surprised. For some reason, I really found myself enjoying like the weird connection that Bloodsport and Ratcatcher 2 were getting. Like him basically seeing her as like a surrogate daughter. Yeah. I was pleasantly I wasn't surprised, but like I was pleasantly okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it made sense of that whole prison argument scene between him and his daughter. Like he finally, I don't know, they had that bus conversation and they bonded or whatever, and they talked shit before and after that, but they really connected.
Yeah, it basically just brought the stakes up a little higher on his end because then he's like, I'm gonna make sure you get out alive, and basically he's trying to keep his promise, and for whatever reason, but
right,
yeah.
It's like, why didn't you tell me you were afraid of rats? I'm an assassin. I don't tell you these things.
Why would I give away my weaknesses?
But their whole their opposites, not attract, but their anti collaboration, and then all of a sudden at the end they were in it together. Because even in the bus at the end of their conversation, he's like, I'll make sure you make it out alive. And she goes, I'll make sure you make it out alive. Like, she's just a badass like that. Like, they're both the same.
Right.
And different generations and whatnot.
Yeah. I agree with both of you about the Harley Quinn killing the president guy. It was one of those things where when the camera's facing him, I was just the entire time, I'm just like, I kind of hope I hope Harley Quinn just sticks to the mission and like kills him. This is the perfect opportune moment, you know? So I was like I wanted that to happen. But the fact that it did happen shocked me a little bit. I was like, oh, it actually happened. Yeah. I wanted it to happen, and then they delivered. I'm like, that was great. Like, I liked that.
For sure.
I was so shocked.
Yeah, and after a fun, aggressive sex scene, or not sex scene, but, you know, implication.
Yep.
Aggressive lovemaking on their part.
Yeah, which to be expected with Harley Quinn. And then she just looks at that old antique gun and she's like, I can't believe it had a bullet in it. Like, she, you know, she just grabbed the closest thing. She was wonderful and obviously necessary for the movie, but she did great.
Yeah, and like you said, it really shows you how crazy she really is. So,
right.
So the big badass. There's like two kind of badass like bosses, and there's basically the Starro, which is the monster creature, and then you have that
Thinker?
weird mind, that weird thinker guy.
Thinker, yeah.
And when you find out that he's actually been torturing this creature or whatever like that, and you kind of give away the reveal about, the government, you know, kind of typical shit.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that whole, I don't know, that whole reveal or that whole like situation with that guy and Starro, that whole relationship, I guess? Because my personal thing was I didn't really expect that to be like he was torturing this creature kind of thing, and this creature wanted to be set free. Basically, what I'm getting at is, were you guys okay with the fact that they made this Starro a bad monster, even though it really wasn't? It just wanted to be set in space. It was like forced into it because of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seemed like a child at the end, really. Starro did.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, there was so much happening at the end, the third act. I didn't know what to expect, and everything, all the plot points were happening so fast. There was so much intense and action, so I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't know what to think, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Aaron, what you got?
I guess I wasn't really affected by the idea that like he had been torturing it or trying to experiment on it. Like the kind of character that the Thinker seemed to be like it was almost expected that he was trying to experiment on it somehow, because he alludes to it, that having been like around it for 30 some years, like he's like that, because he's talking to the president and stuff in the beginning. He's like, and I don't think anyone can control it, and so like that he'd been experimenting and doing random shit to like all the like
little star
the
creature
little,
thingies.
the hive mind thing that they had going on. Like it didn't surprise me,
Yeah.
I guess would be the best way to say it. So I was okay with it.
Yeah. I think personally, I was a little shocked on that. It basically, I thought Godzilla was basically my first initiation. Was like,
Got a fucking kaiju in this bitch.
Yeah, like this is basically just like a Godzilla thing. But
Yeah.
one of you guys said it was basically like a child, and that's kind of how I felt too. I felt like this space alien thing was acting like a child. This is my city, basically throwing a tantrum at this
The
point
city is mine.
for being locked up.
Thank you. Yes. Yep.
And
Yep.
I thought that was, I don't know, there's something about that felt very appropriate, but I was also like, well, it's not, this creature's really not supposed to be bad. It got kidnapped.
Right.
It basically got taken
it's
out
a
of
thing.
space. Yeah. Got taken out of space and then tortured. That'd make me bad too. If somebody kidnapped me and then tortured me.
Its last line, like before it dies, was like, "I was happy, just floating among the stars."
Yeah.
I thought that was a
floating in
great
space
line.
and watching the stars. Yeah,
Yeah. I thought that was a great line. I don't know. I thought it was
Yeah.
very poetic.
And the Thinker, and the Thinker's last line was, "I'm sorry, I crossed the line." It's but it was too late at that point.
right.
I wish there was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more done with that guy. The way he died was pretty gruesome, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it would be kind of a little more epic than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How so?
will say-
I don't know. The Thinker? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah,
He was just a scrawny little dude with a whole bunch of colored pens in his head. I didn't find him.
He's
Well,
he
how
wasn't
could he
like
fight
a
back,
what was.
Yeah.
Well, he can't. But my point was, I wanted more out of it than just let's rip him apart and throw him against the wall and see him splatter. Like I don't know.
Oh, you
I
wanted a
kinda
better death scene.
Yeah, like I wanted
I see.
wanted to see him like, I don't know, get fucked up for a little bit. Yeah. Like I don't know. I just wanted something more out of this. I wanted to see somebody pull those fucking things out of his head. That's really what I wanted.
I wanted to play a whack-a-mole with them.
Yeah, those things bugged me so much.
They
I'm
weren't
sure they're-
placed symmetrically. That was what bothered me. Like they were just all over the fucking place.
I thought that too, and I'm sure that's accurate to the comic. I'm not familiar with this character either, but
It's probably dealing with the brain. I mean, he probably
Yeah,
put
yeah.
each one of those
Different-
things
different
in
areas
different
of the
parts of the
brain,
brain
fucking-
to enhance
yeah.
him. So.
they justified it. So they had that joke with the second president, the older one.
Yeah, the general.
Yeah, but when one president dies, it cuts to the next president. Like, I'm president now, and it's just like a thing. It's like a joke between.
Right.
And then it happens for a third time at the end. But yeah, did you enjoy you guys enjoy the bar scene when they were all drinking and And Cena was like, let's get wasted, and blood. Sport was like, no, I'm only having one.
Yeah.
Cena was going to be like, you're going to be that guy. And then it quickly turns into a party, and then Polka Dots dancing with his moms. It's fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was better bar scene than the one in the first one, is why I bring it up.
That was Peacemaker's, like, I think that was the clincher piece where you start to like, oh, well, maybe Peacemaker is part of the team, and like you can kind of go to like, so I think that was the point where they really upped the stakes for when he eventually betrays the team. At least in my eyes, that was.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that moment when he's like, hey, lady, or the server.
You forgot the rat.
Yeah.
That's right there, the moment where like they all came together as a team, and that was the line. And you're right about it being more about him, up in the stakes, about him crossing in the next segment I'm sure we'll discuss.
No, that's I have to agree. Like, I didn't think the bar scene was anything special, but it had a purpose. That's all that really mattered. It was definitely
nothing
setup,
special, but way better than the first one. Is the only reason why I bring it up, because they had the bar scene where they all came together. It was like the same format. They retraced their steps, in a sense, but they did it way better in this one.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. How did you feel about Harley Quinn in this one? Do you think that there's anything different, or do you think that she was still, I don't know, just badass? Did you have any mixed feelings about her? Did you have any extra feelings about her?
I thought I already, she played her part. She played Harley Quinn. The javelin arc was great when she grabs it, and she was like, he told me to take this for a reason, but he didn't tell me why. And she just took it to heart and stuff. I thought that was hilarious. And then that comes
I did like that too.
Fruition at the end, and to a disgusting destination, which was, had to happen. And like how important she took that javelin, I really had a fun ride. And then that's pretty much all I have to say besides everything else I said earlier about her escaping.
I really enjoyed the weird emotional bit you got when she kind of gets out there and she sees the rest of them trying to like break in. She's like, what are you guys doing? She's like, well, we were here to rescue you. And she gets really choked up and hugs Flag.
She's like, well, I can go back in.
I know. When she said that, it was such a her thing to say, and it was the right line to write in the dialogue.
And Bloodsport in the background, that's patronizing.
Right.
As he's climbing down off the wall. I thought that whole part was great.
That's
I
cool.
really enjoyed that little bit because it gave her a little bit more depth. Like, she's still crazy. She's still Harley Quinn, but like, there's that little bit of like heart to her.
She cares about her friends. That was
nice. And I really enjoyed when she's like, what's with the javelin? It's like, I'm waiting for God to tell me. And your Bloodsport goes, Jesus Christ. Or him too. Anybody really.
Yeah. Yep. So did you guys have a favorite scene then? Oh, go. What did you say, Jason?
Nothing. Zoom fucked it up. I can move on without it. Favorite scene? Shit.
I for some reason, it's not my favorite scene, but the first scene that I really enjoyed that comes to mind is Polka Dot Man at the end when he dies, and he's like, I'm a fucking superhero. And he starts to say it to Bloodsport, and then the tentacle just and crushes him.
Whenever you hear someone go out, say something triumphant, and they say it twice, it's like with a focus shot from far away, you're like, fuck, you're going to die. And then it happened.
Yep.
He got squashed. So it was predictable.
Really enjoyed that scene for some reason.
But I was sad that he's out of the picture. Like, fucking A. I like that guy.
Yeah, he was like the underdog of all of this. Like, he was the one that I think that you weren't really expecting to have some kind of attachment to, but you kind of did.
Yeah, for sure.
He basically came off as like a very simple guy, but
yeah, And then
I don't
throughout
know.
the movie, he's not so fucking simple. He's
Nope.
quite complicated with mommy issues and
Yup.
powerful, flamboyant powers.
Right?
I did like his intro too, and like, what's that around his neck? A power dampener. Hey, Polka Dot Man, you want to come to my fucking kid's birthday party?
Right.
You little bitch.
James Gunn's brother.
Yeah, Sean Gunn.
Oh, is that okay?
He was Kurt in Gilmore Girls. And I know he was like the second in command in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like Yondu's right hand man.
Yep.
He's in all sorts of shit. Like he's all over the place.
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
Favorite scenes? They're more like shots, but I really like when Harley Quinn left. She got in the cab and she put the javelin through the back seat, through the front shotgun, through the mirror. I was like, because right before she did it, I was like, how are you gonna fit that long thing? And then she just did it smooth as fuck.
Yep.
And then a Zack Snyder shot when King Shark rips that fucking dude in half
Yep.
with the lightning in the background. I was
Yeah,
like,
that was
epic.
I don't know. It just gave me chills, and I know there are more shots than scenes, but that was the things I wanted to say when you asked me that question.
Yeah, it works. I will. Honestly, I think that King Shark stole the show for most of this film for me. Just
I
every
was
time,
so happy.
Oh yeah,
he was
for
in
sure.
it.
every time that he was in there, I was more focused on what's he gonna do next? Like, what's gonna happen? Like when he turns around and everybody's gone, he's just like oh.
And then he found new friends, right?
Yeah,
With the
they
colorful
found new
fish.
friends, yep.
Yeah. Why didn't we get an explanation of what the fuck those things were?
I wanted to know
It
a
doesn't
little
matter
bit more.
because he ended up fighting them, or they ended up, it became
Trying
a
to-
battle between him and them. So
Yep.
I legit thought they killed him because there's one spot where like
Oh,
he
I
dunks
was
underwater
worried.
and it just like an explosion of blood, and I was like, oh shit.
Right.
I was worried for a second because he fell off that whole fucking tower. But then I remembered Bloodsport shot him like 7 times with a shotgun. With his badass weaponry, first of all, we haven't talked about. His weapons are phenomenal in this film.
Yeah.
And his little transformer weapons, and when he runs out of them at the end, and he just using everything he has.
Yep.
This shit was just amazing attached to his suit. So I was worried about King Shark falling, but then I remembered he got shot by such powerful weapons and survived. So then I wasn't.
So, you guys heard that they're making a Peacemaker HBO Max series, right?
With John Cena?
Yep, with John Cena.
Okay.
Well, they alluded to that with the scene after the credits.
Yep.
Which I didn't see till the second time I ran it. And I was like, I should probably check just to
Yep.
be
So,
safe.
so I wasn't sure who was in the hospital bed at Cena, not
Yeah.
Flag.
Yep,
Okay.
it's supposed to be Cena. Yep.
I so wanted it to be Flag, but
Me too. Me too.
So yeah, basically because he survived, under all that rubble and stuff, that they're making a spinoff series with the Peacemaker.
yeah.
And that's going to be after
Interesting.
that. So that's
As
what
long
that
as Zack
end
Snyder
credit,
and James Gunn are involved, it could be good.
right? And it's going
did
straight to
you know
HBO Max too. So
Yeah. Did you like
Oh.
when Bloodsport kills Peacemaker, like, quote unquote kills, and he's like, how? And he's like, and he alludes back to smaller bullets.
yep.
And like
Yeah,
that alluding to
'cause
the
that was the
conversation they had
beginning
in
thing
the
in the-
beginning. Smaller bullets. They
Their
don't even
first
touch the size of
conversation
it.
in the prison.
I don't know why. It may be just because I'm a sick fuck, but like when he was talking about the fact that he uses smaller bullets that won't even touch the sides or the holes that that Bloodsports would make, I was just like, is this some sort of weird like black versus white dick size thing? Like
That never crossed my mind, but
I don't know why the fuck I thought of that, but it was like in my mind, I was like, man, they're just like throwing a stereotype out there, maybe, and I don't know if I'm on board with it.
maybe
I
there's
did
some
get
undertones.
the
I don't
whole
know.
who has a bigger dick thing.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't quite get that.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
Like I say, I might just be that I'm a sick fuck, but
I did like though
That's
that
funny though.
when they introduce Bloodsport, that whole dialogue that Waller's talking about, is like,
Yeah.
his father, built him to be a soldier from birth, kind of thing. And then she basically repeats the exact same thing to Peacemaker, and he's like, wait, you're telling me?
A laugh?
Yeah, you having a laugh? He basically does what I do, and John Cena's
then
like,
he-
but I do it better.
But as he pops out of the room and walks ahead of him, it was such a smooth fucking
yeah.
delivery. I don't know.
I thought that was great. So he just
I
does
thought
what I
that
do.
was I thought that movement of walking was important on those words and delivering that joke.
Right.
Well, gentlemen, I don't have anything else to talk about. Anything you want to say?
Well, did you like all the CGI ending, the destruction of the tower? Because they were running across floors being destroyed by CGI, but it really looked pretty fucking well. Like I was watching their feet, and
it seemed well done.
Yeah.
It looked so good.
I thought the CGI was fine all the way across.
That's
Yeah.
like when Bloodsport is falling through the floors and stuff. I thought that was fine.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell it's CGI, but
right.
I mean,
but
it was still done.
I was on board for it. I was thoroughly pleased with this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
I just thought the attention to detail was better than most CGI shit, so I just wanted to mention that.
That's probably the whole Zack Snyder and James Gunn. So
I want to give it credit to him for sure, but
because look at Guardians of the Galaxy, man, that was phenomenal visual effects, and can't argue with how well that was. And then look at Zack Snyder; he loves to do that kind of stuff. So the fact that those two paired up for this movie, it definitely shows. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I could ramble on about tidbits here and there, but yeah, we can end it with a rating. You want to rate it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't you go first then, Jason? What do you rate this?
4.5.
All right. 4.5.
I'll give it 4.5, yeah.
4.5 as well?
Yeah, I'll give that.
You gave the last two films a 5.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, He-Man and...
He-Man wasn't a film,
and nobody.
He-Man I actually paid attention to.
Shut the fuck up. It was 5 episodes, which equals a film length.
Basically.
Longer than you want to watch. Yeah, fuck
whatever.
21 minutes.
Sorry for getting offensive, but yeah, nobody in He-Man you rated 5, just to back him up.
All right. Well, fuck it. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I actually, I should give it a 5 because I found no real fault with this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it twice. I'd watch it again. So yeah, I'll give it a 5. Fuck it.
All right. I mean, I'm not trying to course you into a different.
No, I was being conservative, and I don't like being conservative. So you were right to call me on it.
All right, Jason, you're sticking with your 4.5.
Yeah, because I had a tiny bit of pacing issues with it, and the cut and dry plot points, and that's just nitpicking. So. But I'm going to stick to it.
Damn right.
Yeah, I would go with a 4.5 as well. And it's just one of those things where, like, I enjoyed the shit out of it, and I want to watch it again. I only watched it once, but, yeah, I didn't really see anything wrong with it or anything, but I think it was just one of those... I don't really feel like I can give it a 5 necessarily. I didn't love it that much. That's about it. It's definitely good, and I enjoyed it very much. It was a fun ride, that was for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And I give all the props to characters, because that's what kept me on board 100% was these characters. I just couldn't get enough of these characters. I wanted more. I wanted to see what was going to happen next. I wanted to see what they were going to do. I wanted to see more bickering. Like, it was just...
I want to see a small series of just the detachable kid.
That'd be a lot better than that fucking rookie show that Nathan Fallon does, whatever the fuck. That police
the
cop
rookie.
show. I haven't given a shot. It's not my style.
It's not
my bad,
Firefly,
Nick.
but leave it alone.
Yeah. My bad. But yeah, that would have been great. But,
I would be up for
why
that.
I'm rambling. Hopefully Peacemaker, all the people that survived in this movie and got away free because of that disc drive and everything. 4 of them. Hopefully they end up in that series. Fuck yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Probably won't happen
because Weasel actually wakes up too.
That's right.
He does.
So how do you feel about that end credit scene? Because there's technically
like
2 of them.
He's gonna go kill a bunch of kids. There's 3 of them, really.
Right?
Yeah, I was like...
I did like it. It's like,
sorry.
it's like he's actually pretty dangerous. So he's like, he's harmless. Well, not really. He killed like 37 children.
Yeah. We think he agreed to this.
That creature, that character is fucking weird.
I love
like
when you see him in the callback when they're getting blood sport and he's just licking the window.
Yeah, it's a glass.
Yeah.
It just pauses too and like gives him a look. It totally reminded me of Super Troopers. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Shit, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Oh man!
All right,
yeah.
gentlemen. Well, let's wrap her up then. So,
this is Aaron Banyan.
Timothy Bennett.
Jason Chandler.
Catch you later.